What's up, everybody? This is Sarah Felrose here, bringing you some of that Pokemon Go Battle League content we all know and love. This week's video features the Legend Run, the one and only Legend Run that I'm going to have this season. Yes, we hit it, ladies and gentlemen, after taking it nice and slow and having a roller coaster of a time in Great League. We hit Legend on the first couple of days of Ultra League Premier Classic. It's been an absolute joy to play this team. As you can see, we've got the thick boy brand new Walrus. It was just a matter of time before we made it into a video. This thing is so good that it can't be beat. It has so very few hard counters in this Ultra League Premier Classic meta that it is easily one of the best things to run, even though everybody's looking to counter it. We've got Gallade as the MVP safe swap of this cup. Does so much work, it's probably the best thing on this team. And then Toxicroak's in the back as the counter user to close. It also functions as an anti-fighter to help handle the things that Walrein can't quite deal with itself. So, team's been excellent. I did very positive on my first day out of 6 sets, and I ended at 29.96, which you're going to see here is the last set of my first day and the first set of the next day when I hit Legend on the Patron live stream with my supporters. And if you want to be a part of those live streams in the future, or if you want to get exclusive early access to my videos, teams, meta tips, all that stuff, link in the description if you want to check that out. I appreciate it if you support. If not, that's cool with me. Just go ahead and hit like on the video, comment if you'd like to tell me how your battles are going, and subscribe to the channel. That also helps me just as much. So let's get into these battles, ladies and gentlemen. This team is an absolute banger, and I can highly recommend this team as one to run to get Legend for yourself. Now, let's go. All right. First game, we're going to have that thick boy Walrus, and it is a Shadow Walrus. I prefer the Shadow Walrus. It's my Celio, all growed up from the Great League Remix video back in the beginning of the season. So, you see my opponent led with Obstagoon, and they safe-swapped, or I safe-swapped my Gallade, and then they respond with Gengar. Now, if the Gengar hadn't let that move through, I might have had to double shield, but because they threw on alignment, I was able to get a confusion through, and the game is working as it's supposed to. And I'm able to actually flip switch with just one shield there, which is huge. And I'm able to come out with so much energy that I'm going to be able to throw 2 close combats at this Charizard. Now, close combat does almost half of a Charizard's HP, so they actually have to shield this, or the next one that's going to come, or they're actually going to get taken out. So I'm going to throw the next close combat right before going down. The Charizard's going to get a couple fire spins off on me. They let this one go. But it's going to be just low enough for my Walrus to come in and start doing some farm. Now, I know I can take a Blast Spring here, but I also know that they have Obstagoon in the back, and I have a Toxicroak for it. So I'm going to shield the Blast Spring here, knowing that that's going to be the hardest move left hitting in the game. And they're going to come into the Obstagoon. They were looking to try and catch the Icicle Spear, I think, but I'm not going to let it happen. So I was watching. I was waiting for them to swap out. So I come out with Toxicroak immediately to respond, counter all the way down. I'm not looking to throw any energy here. They can throw a couple moves at me, that's fine. My win scenario here is to get a couple of Mud Bombs off and or counter or hit an Ice Spear on the Charizard. I have multiple ways to win this game, so I'm just looking to pressure my opponent. They just let it go. So, good game to my opponent there. But I think I just more or less team comped them and a bit outplayed. So, Surfetched on the lead. This is another absolutely god-awful lead. And with Walrein on the lead, you did get a lot of fighters on this first couple of days. So then my opponent responded to Gyarados. Now, they responded a little bit late, which means I'm really ahead on energy. And what this also means is I'm going to be able to start whipping out Leaf Blades before they can get to moves. Because I match them, they get to their Aqua Tails as I get to Leaf Blades. And because they came in late, I'm able to get to my second Leaf Blade before they will. Or before they're able to get to a second move, so I can opt to shield here, and I can actually get one more confusion in to take them out because I was able to get that confusion damage through. Now, they're going to come back in with the Surfetched, which was an extremely strange, it was extremely strange to me. So, I imagine my opponent probably has something that's super weak in the back to Gallade, so I'm going to look to just pressure shields here. And because this is the best thing that they had to respond with, I'm going to let this go, knowing that I've got Toxicroak in the back, which is just as good against the Surfetched, and I'm going to look to counter down. My opponent's still not switching out. So I imagine they've either got a Walrus answer in the back and can't, they don't have anything against my Toxicroak, or they just let it get countered down. And it's a Walrein in the back. So, yeah, they're not going to bring in anything on that, and that's going to be a good game. They're definitely not bringing in Walrein to Gallade or Toxicroak. But I found a lot of the times that Gallade, they don't have good answers to Gallade. I think that it's because Gallade is so very, very scarce right now because Trevenant's everywhere. But honestly, even against Trevenant, Gallade could win switch if they don't shield either of the 2 Leaf Blades you throw at them before you go down. And that's if they don't throw their energy right away. You can tank 1 Z-Bomb too in that matchup. So they have a Muck. I am still in with the Walrus. I can't really come in with Toxicroak. I mean, I could, but I don't really want to because I know that I outpace the Muck. And they come in with Trevenant. Now, they come in with Trevenant when I have over 2 Ice Spheres loaded. So they're just looking to sack the Trevenant, I feel like. Because there's nothing that this Trevenant is going to be able to do to me here. And they're just, yeah, they just sack the Trevenant. And now because they're locked in, I'm expecting them to come back in with the Muck and I respond with Gallade because now they're locked in for about another 30 seconds. Switch timer was right around 2 charge moves and then some, so I just go ahead and I come in with that, and I'm going to look to start pressuring my opponent, get their shield, and or take out this Muck so that it's not in the way of my Toxicroak and or whatever's left of my Walrein here. And because they just didn't get to a move, is going to be great. Now, Walrein. Once again, there's Walreins everywhere because it is obviously one of the best mons in this whole cup. I'm going to threaten the close combat here, but Leaf Blade's still going to do a good chunk of damage, and if I can get a shield here, then Toxicroak's looking good. So I get the shield, and I'm just going to let my... Well, I have to let it. I don't have a choice. But I'm going to come in with Walrein to sack it, to let it soak up all the energy. My opponent has to throw an Earthquake to take this out, and they do, which is fine. Sort of mini Kaboom. I'm not going to Kaboom yet. And then I come in with Toxicroak, and with 1 shield, Toxicroak is going to be able to get to the Sludge Bomb and or Mud Bomb to be able to take this out. I'm able to safely shield the first move because they cannot throw an Earthquake and an Icicle Spear back to back. And I'm only 1 move away from a Sludge Bomb. I'm going to take this game too. This is a 5-0, by the way. This just spoiler alert here. I had a very good run with this team. The first day, I think my first set was 5-0, and then I had 2 3-2s. Oh, I missed a transition. Sorry about that. S-Cavalier is horrible. I have to go into Gallade and just hope they don't respond with anything crazy. They don't even bother to switch out, so I feel like they're going to play this out. I will commit 1 shield as normal in the safe swap just in case they want to swap out. But they got Aerial Ace, so I do have to be wary of that. But I'm looking to basically go for close combats here just to get the shields off of my opponent and or just take out the S-Cav. So, but damn, I lost my train of thought already from what I was saying earlier. That was quick. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be stupid in the playback. Aerial Aces though, so I'm committing both my shields because I know I can get both of their shields, and I can let my Toxicroak come in here. Walrein's also tanky enough to handle it. My opponent does go down here, or does not go down here. They do decide they want to shield. They're building up some energy, but I'm able to get to this Leaf Blade just in time to do some chip damage. It's probably not going to be enough, though. But I'm able to get there. Oh, yeah, it's not just quite enough. But I'm going to come in and snipe it with the Toxicroak, save the Gallade for a potential sack swap, and they come in with Swampert. Now, that's why they stayed in with the S-Cav, because they had a Swampert in the back, and Lord, I bet you they've got a Walrein in the back, too. I bet you watch this. I'm going to throw this Mud Bomb because the Sludge Bomb is resisted, but the counter damage still adds up pretty quickly. I imagine my opponent's probably just going to go for the Earthquake to take out my Toxicroak. They could have gone for a Hydro Cannon here, but I'm going to give it to them. Kaboom! Get to the Kaboom. Walrein's going to come in. My Walrein is ahead. Or no, we're actually, I think, even right now. Yeah, we're even on energy. So what I have to do here, the only way that I win this game, because I don't know if their Walrus is better than mine as far as their IVs are concerned. I have to deny a move. Thankfully, I deny. We're both denying, so I guess it's even, because if it hadn't been for the denial, then I would have had to basically get a move through before. But what I have to do is I have to sack the Gallade at the Earthquake, and my opponent has to throw, and they do! And that's all that energy is gone. Oh, that poor Gallade. He served his purpose. We throw the Earthquake now at the Walrein, and we're able to take this game nice and easy. Definitely hinged on my opponent throwing. And then I forgot there was a Swampert in the back when I played this game, and I forgot there was a Swampert in the back when there was... when I'm calling over the game afterwards. Hydro Cannon is just barely enough not to take me out, and I'm able to get to the Icicle Spear, and I'm able to now absolutely clinch this game. Here we go. All right, now we're good. GG's, though. That was very close, because I almost forgot the Swampert was there. All right, next game, everybody. Charizard lead. This is really actually not bad, because the Icicle Spear is on a Shadow, or not the Ice School Spears. They come in immediately with the champ, but Ice Spear on the Walrein actually chunks it pretty good. But I immediately respond with my Gallade, trying to keep that away from a Charizard in a fresh matchup. I could have come in with Toxicroak here, but the Mud Bomb damage is not as good as if I were to just build up and throw some close combats. So I'm fine here if I can get enough for a couple close combats before I go down. And my opponent, I think, is at 3 or 4. So they're either going to have to throw a move before, waste their energy, or I'm going to be able to get him off right here. Going to go for another close combat here. If my opponent doesn't shield, the Charizard's going to go down, and they got to rely on whatever they got left with 2 shields. And what's going to go on? They're going to let the Charizard go down. There is an Obstagoon in the back, and that is an easy win for Toxicroak to come in, and that is a good game. Now, these last games here came off at the Patreon live stream, so forgive the weird editing. I'm trying to fix that on the fly here. Hold on. All right, you can see the whole screen. It's all there. We played this on the Patreon live stream, so this is it. This is my first set the next day. I've got a Samurott swap in. I'm going to go straight to my own Gallade. I'm actually I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do here with this thing. The Samurott kind of took me by surprise, and I don't really have anything that can deal with it off the cuff. So I'm going to go for these Leaf Blades. I figure my Gallade's probably the best thing that can handle it here. And thankfully, I'm going to be able to take it out, but I do have to tank this move. I can't shield even as a Hydro Cannon. I know it's not going to take me out, but it's going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, it takes me almost out, but I'm able to come out into the next matchup with a little bit of energy, so hopefully I can get a move off against whatever comes in. Possibly, maybe like that Charizard that's about to come in. I'm going to be able to get another close combat off on the Charizard right before going down. And this is going to be huge for me because that's going to allow me to do enough chip damage, and I'm able to align my Walrein now to the Charizard. Even though it's got some energy, I do have energy myself, and Shadow, even though it's Shadow, you can take a Blast Burn pretty good. It hurts. It hurts. I'll give him enough. It's enough for the kaboom, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because they have Machamp. I'm going to come in with Toxicroak. I'm looking to farm it all the way down. Nothing that they have in their repertoire of moves can hit me for anything less or anything more than not very effective damage. So what I'm going to look to do here, now that the Charizard is down in just enough of a health range, I'm going to look to basically not get wrecked by this Machamp with 1 HP. I have to shield this to keep HP against the Charizard. But I've got a bunch of energy. I basically have to get their shield here with a Mud Bomb. Hopefully they think it's a Sludge Bomb. Let's see if the bait goes through, because if it does, this is perfect. It doesn't go through. My opponent is a genius, and they call the bait, so I have to go for another Mud Bomb, but I had energy loaded on my Walrein, so I'm going to be able to quick swap into the Walrein and combo play it down if I get the shield. I do. Just waiting. No, they throw energy. That's even better. I needed to wait for the Switch Climber to come up, but this is going to be perfect because they had to throw their energy, and now I come in and I get them with the Icicle Spear, and that is going to take this game 1 of the final set here. Good game to my opponent. That was a lot closer than it looked, but thankfully the energy that I saved on Walrein came in clutch for that one. All right, getting into this next game. This is a sweaty day. Walrein Shadow Mirror lead. Not playing it. I go straight to Gallade here. And what I've noticed in most of these matchups, if they're not packing Trevenant, they don't swap out. And that's actually really good for me, because not only does it get rid of the very not so fun matchup of the Walrein Mirror, but it also means that they don't have an answer in the back to potentially to a fighter or just Gallade in general. So they shield up, and I also noticed that my opponents don't really throw with very good move timing against Gallade, so they should be throwing either on the middle of the confusions or at least trying to CMP time me. But whenever they CMP time me, I'm over farming anyway, so I don't know if they're just... I don't know what happens. But make sure that if you're facing against the Gallade, make sure that you're throwing in the middle of the move so that you don't let them get free energy. So they come in with Kingdra to farm me down. Sucks, but it's fine. I have shield advantage here, and I can come in with Walrein. And I'm going to soak move here. Regardless if it's an Octazooka, my thought process here is, if it's an Octazooka, get the debuff, swap out. If it's an Outrage, bank the energy or take this thing out before it gets there and swap out. Now, they're going to throw the move here. And unfortunately, it's going to be the Outrage. They're going to hit me with an Outrage. It's going to hurt. I'll give them the Kaboom because that was a big bunch of damage, but they're not going to have enough energy to get to another move before Toxicroak can counter down. And Toxicroak has to deal with a Walrein and something else. And it's a Nidoqueen. They did not have an answer for the Gallade in the slightest, ladies and gentlemen. And they also don't have an answer for this Toxicroak here in the back, which means he's about to sweep. Now, I do have to be careful of potential Earth Power. They catch the Mud Bomb like champions. Now, I already know that all I have to do is finish off this Walrein, and I can either throw a Mud Bomb at the Nidoqueen. I don't even have to shield this. I can let it go, and I can let Walrein do it. But basically, I just need to counter down and get a Mud Bomb off, or I need Walrein to just be able to come in and get to one Icicle Spear, and it's got a shield, and that's it. And it had the energy already loaded. Now, it was so low that if I didn't have that energy, if I hadn't saved that energy, that would have been a problem. But we take out the Nidoqueen, and we take this next game here. Good game. That's kind of the nice thing about this team, is it just absolutely gives no room for any Nidoqueen and very little room for much else. So Roserade, great lead, coming in with Walrein, going to respond immediately with Gallade. Now the reason why I respond with the Gallade is because I want to be able to make sure that I can pressure shields, and I know that if I don't screw up my move timing here, which I kind of can't, but my opponent might. I know that I win this matchup, especially if they let me get a free confusion through throwing back-to-back moves, which you should never do. You should, unless you have to. You should be aiming to throw at least one fast move so that your opponent doesn't get completely free energy like I just did. Now, it would have probably been better for me to bring in the Toxicroak, but I just felt like bringing in Gallade because Gallade has just been so strong for me. And I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So I'm gonna get this Leaf Blade off here. And we're looking to either get the shield or take out the Walrein. Now, they are going to leave this matchup with shield advantage, but I'm able to get to this close combat. Now, they're either going to have to shield this or take a ton of damage on their Roserade. And what are they going to do? They're going to let it go. I'll give it a Kaboom just because it's a close combat. We love close combats. All right, Walrein's going to come in, and I know that they're going to throw a move right as soon as they're about to go down. So I decide to catch whatever it is on the Toxicroak, and they threw the Leaf Storm. And I'm able to catch that Leaf Storm on Toxicroak, and an Obstagoon comes in. And I know at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at 29.96, and I want 2-0 in this set. A Toxicroak, or an Obstagoon, is exactly what I wanted to see in the back. So not only am I now about to clinch Legend, but about to do it in a not-so-classic Walrein versus Obstagoon matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, we've confirmed that Walrein is indeed an Obstagoon counter, and they surrender the game at that point. So, Walrein comes in on Ampharos. This is a terrible lead. Ampharos is getting popular, and it's really tough for me. Because both the teams I run are kind of weak to it. So, I just come in with Gallade here, and I look to just farm a bunch of energy, try and start pressuring the Ampharos to either shield or go down. If I can get rid of this Ampharos, it's probably going to be better off. So throwing Leaf Blades. We didn't CMP tie, so I'm able to get a free confusion through there. Technically, I was ahead of them, or I was behind them by... There was one turn of differential, and I'm pretty sure that I was technically one turn behind them, so they didn't get a free move. But they come in with Gallade, and they've got my ass, dude. This game is over already, I know it. I have no solid answer to this Gallade. I've got 2 shields, and my only play here is to farm down the Gallade and try to get a move off on it before it gets to a Leaf Blade. But I'm really bad at this game, and I decided to throw too late, and I CMP tie. So I did exactly what I said that you're not supposed to do against the damn Gallade, was try and CMP tie it. So I decided to figure out how much a Leaf Blade will actually do to my Shadow Walrein, and I find out, and it kind of hurts. The play here was probably not to let that go. I probably should have shielded, but I figured I already got Legend. I just kind of wanted to see how much damage it would do. And I don't know if I honestly would have flipped this game, but I know that Ampharos is probably about to come in and throw, so I immediately swapped the Toxicroak to try and soak the damage so that I at least can keep the energy on my Walrein. I'm going to try and start punching down, but they're already too close to a Thunder Punch, and I get denied a move here, and that actually is going to make a difference because they are now 3 counters away from going down. And the Venusaur comes in, and at this point, Venusaur just has to get 2 moves, has a shield, and I'm done. So that's it. That's a good game to my opponent. Like I said, I don't know if shielding the Walrein would have made a difference, because then I would have had to take a Thunder Punch to the face on Walrein if I hadn't had the foresight to switch out anyway. So, regardless, good game to my opponent. They played me like a damn fiddle, and they were able to take it. So, Always good. Always fine. Lose those kinds of games. They come with Venusaur too, which is really not as seen anymore because Walrein and Trevenant are everywhere and they both kind of beat it. So my opponent whoops me here. That's all right. It's all right. I was happy to lose this one. I was like, you know what? I've already got it in the bag, so I'm happy to lose this one. So good game to my opponent there. That was incredible. All right, this is the last game in the set of Legend. Trevenant lead. This is exactly where I want to see the Trevenant because it loses to the Walrein, and they respond with the Nidoqueen. I can't tell you how happy I was that they responded with Nidoqueen because my whole team beats Nidoqueen. But I'm saving my Walrus for the Trevenant because I know that both of my backline can't handle it. So at this point, I just need to keep alignment, and I am not able to CMP tie with this Nidoqueen because they threw correctly in the middle of the move. So I'm double debuffed on my defense, and they're going to be able to take me out, but I'm able to get a bunch of energy. Now, I throw a Leaf Blade here, Trevenant comes in, and I don't know how much a double debuffed Shadow Claw does, but watch how my health bar is now just gone. I had at least, you know, a good, 5 to 10% health in there somewhere, so I'm not really sure. I think it was more like 5, honestly. But anyway, Walrein's able to come in, load up on energy, and their Walrein comes in. I get a little bit more energy, and then I'm going to swap out, and I'm going to come in and start countering down, throwing Mud Bombs, pressuring shields. And my opponent is going to have to start shielding at some point here because they can't handle the Icicle Spears that are about to come from my Walrein, and also a Sludge Bomb does heavy neutral damage to a Trevenant. So I'm going to let this go because I know I can, and I'm going to try and farm down before my opponent gets another move. And they get there just in time. I have to either let this go, which I do, so I can get some more energy. And I know that I just need to throw 3 Icicle Spears at this Trevenant and I win. So, going to get a move through there. My opponent throws their first move. I'm going to shield this up. I know that I can tank 1 Seed Bomb if I need to. And we're just a couple moves away from getting to another Icicle Spear here. So, first Icicle Spear goes through. Do 1 fast move. Get another Icicle Spear off. Now I'm at the back-to-back, I'm pretty sure. But I'm at this point, now I can tap on the button itself to make sure I get it off. I'm not. I'm 1 away. But we see my opponent was able to get like 3 or 4 Shadow Claws in there. So that was very close. And had they gotten 1 more Claw through at some point, could have been lost. But you know what? I get a 4-1. And I'm able to get it. I am clinching Legend at this point. I am a happy son of a gun. And this team has been incredible. Actually, it's over here, actually. This team over here has been incredible. Got the Bayleaf for Legend. Waiting to get that elo. 30-42. Ladies and gentlemen, we hit Legend. We took it easy this season. And I came in swinging in my favorite meta to clinch it on day 2 of Ultra League Premier Cup Classic, and it was an absolute blast. And I thank you all for joining me on this video today. It's been an absolute fun, yet completely irritating season with all the bugs. Now, real quick little thing here at the end, before I do any shoutouts or anything, Niantic is pushing code into the game to sort of start to help PvP. So I know it's very frustrating right now. I know the state of the game kind of sucks, but just bear with through the next season if you can. Things are going to get so much better. I have the feeling based off of all the code that they're pushing through. The lag is going to start to go away, and we might even see better syncing between you and your opponent, which means there might not be any more denials or anything that's going to happen. So if, get in on the ground floor while you can, because if this game does get fixed like they're looking like they're going to, this game's going to blow up, and you need to make sure you're ready. So joining my Patreon helps you get ready, because we got the meta tips and I got coaching and I got all that kinds of stuff to help you get better. But also, speaking of my patrons, I want to give them all a shout out because I couldn't be doing this without you guys, and I appreciate and love all of you. And I am going to sign off for this week's video. I will catch you next week in whatever weird shit I start running for Legend. But thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.
Boom!